It's time for Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore. A Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. Brought to you by Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet of Waterford. Plan your next vehicle purchase or get your credit rolling in the right direction with Regina today. And now, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore.
Good morning.
Happy
Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday morning.
Listen, let me apologize now. Regina on one this
Saturday
morning.
morning.
She on one. Listen, it's Saturday morning. Wake up,
everybody. Is more sleeping in bed.
Hey,
can we
what's
do
up,
it again?
everybody?
Can we do it again?
No.
Wake up. Come on now. Come on, work with me.
Wake
up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed.
Y'all up? Come on.
I'm
Listen.
up. You up?
I'm up. Happy Saturday, everybody. It is Saturday, May the 18th. I'm so excited.
But I'm so super excited because the weekend before that, it was traffic. And I got turned around.
Yeah, you got turned around. But you know what? Even in the midst of being turned around, you got on the right path and you were able to make it.
But it wasn't traffic. I was rerouted.
Yeah, that was our word of the week last week.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what's our word of the week this week?
Flexibility.
So how did you come up with that word flexibility?
You know what? Actually, we had to be flexible. So that was the main thing. We had to change trajectories of what we thought we were going to do. So flexibility, when I looked it up, it is the willingness to change or to compromise. And when I thought about the word willingness, that means that you have to be willing to change direction. You have to be willing to change what you're doing now to get a better desired outcome.
Well, you know, flexibility is the same thing about when it comes to shift, right? Flexibility is being able to move at any different time. Yeah, and change lanes, right?
Switch lanes.
Switch lanes.
I like that.
You know, and when I look at flexibility, you know, I go to work every day at the dealership at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet is different. And it has to be, you know, if a customer say they're going to show up at 11 o'clock and maybe something came up and they can't come till 1:30. It's the flexibility of changing the schedule, moving things around. So flexibility to me is always staying abreast, stand on your feet.
Yeah, but the willingness part is what really got me, because sometimes we just not willing to do
because we don't want to.
Because we don't want to. So flexibility is like you're willing to change. You're willing to do this. And I think about, even as a therapist, you know, one of the things that I try to help my clients understand is that you can change the trajectory of how things are today. You can change thought processes.
But the thing is, do you want to change?
Yes.
Do you want to change?
That's why flexibility is the willingness. So you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to do something different. You have to be willing to take a chance. And sometimes we don't want to take a chance. Sometimes we're so stuck in our ways, we want to remain where we are. But are you willing to move? Are you willing to do something different?
You know, I want you to get your pen and papers ready, because this show we have coming on today is going to be hot.
Yeah, I'm
but
excited.
But flexibility, that need to be your word of the day, word of the week, or the word of the year. Because how do you go to that next level? Yeah. Because, you know, everybody's schedules don't always work out.
That's right.
So you have to be able to be flexible
and compromise, right? So sometimes we have to just compromise. You know what? This isn't going the way that I want it to go, but you know what? I'm going to pivot, or I'm going to be flexible, or I'm going to change.
I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be okay with that.
I'm not going to fall out, right?
Right.
Sometimes we feel like we're going to fall out, though. We feel like that things are not, you know, it can't be like this. It has to be a certain way. But guess what?
But you know, but sometimes it's about sacrifice. What did the next person do to sacrifice right now? What did they do? Did they change what they had to do to be flexible for you? Man, right?
When you think about the word sacrifice, that's a huge word, because sacrifice means I'm putting me on the back burner for someone else. I'm moving my thoughts, my wants, my whole need to the back burner. And when I think about sacrifice, I automatically think about marriage, right? Because marriage really is sacrifice. It's really two people coming together who are different, and they're sacrificing who they were to come together to be something, be a whole something together. Wow. Sacrifice.
Well, flexibility and sacrifice really honestly is the same thing. You think?
I think that they can go hand in hand. Flexibility means having the willingness and compromise, to change or compromise. And sacrifice really is having the willingness to sacrifice, the willingness to do something that you normally wouldn't do for someone else.
So you know what? At the dealership at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet, the service hours used to be from 8 to 5. And they recently just changed it to 6 o'clock, and
which is good.
And it was before COVID. It was that way, right? So they wanted to be more flexible for customers, because what was happening is customers were wanting to come pick their car up or drop their car off at 5:15 or 5:30. They get off at 5 o'clock, and they're coming to the dealership wanting to talk to someone, wanting to schedule an appointment, or wanting to drop off their car, and it was quite a few customers that were coming in, and sales was ending up either having the keys ready for them or just helping them out. So, the higher ups made a decision. You know what? We need to stay an hour longer open in order to satisfy customers with being flexible.
That's good. And so really what that is seeing the needs of the community and meeting the need.
Ooh, talk to me, Dr. T.
The need. And so the same thing is, it's not staying in the traditional, like the way things have normally been done. That's saying, you know what, we can change, we can sacrifice, we can become flexible so that the needs of the community is being met. And same thing, like even with a therapist, some people, they work 9 to 5, so they can't come sit in my chair at 5 o'clock. Sometimes they need later appointments. So that means that you have a willingness to change or compromise for the greater good of someone else.
I look at it like this: is you have to be flexible, because you never know when you might need that person, or you never know when something come up and you say, you know what, I was flexible for you. I look at my finance manager like that all the time. Really? When I'm working for an approval for my customer, and I'm saying, okay, well, they got, Regina, how much money do they have down? Well, they got about 500, and they probably would have got 1,000. But I might say, you know what, they might have zero. This probably zero down, because I'm gonna start with the lowest, right? Then I want to work you to be flexible. I want to work you different ways to get my car deal done, because I don't want to say no. I don't want to hear no. Yeah. I don't like the word no. What do we need in order to get that person in the car?
Yeah, I understand. I'm all for challenging the finance manager. So, yay. I'm just saying. But, yeah, just having the willingness to change or to compromise, being flexible. Yeah. And flexible, there's no traditionalness anymore, really. We have to sometimes adapt and change our thought process, because I'm learning that the younger generation, they have different ways of doing things from the way I did it. And it doesn't mean
from the way we all did it.
Yeah, so it's not so much that our way is the right way. It's just that they found a different way to do it, and we're both getting to the same desired result. So being able to be flexible and listen.
Well, you know what, the younger folks have that different way of thinking, period. And, the way they think, we really have to really look at, it's like it's no care to a certain extent. And when there's no care, they take more chances than what we did back in the day.
Oh yeah, they're brilliant.
They're entrepreneurs. They take more chances, but it's more entrepreneurs. They'll change lanes. Right. Yeah, we're afraid. They're not afraid for nothing.
Yeah, they're not afraid. So shout out to all the entrepreneurs and the young coming up entrepreneurs. We're doing a great job. We're proud of you.
Yeah. So on today's show, we have Cierra Crudup, the Master Baker. out of Saginaw.
Yeah, Sag Nasty by way of Pontiac, Michigan. Come on.
Sag Nasty?
Yeah, Saginaw.
I've never heard it called Sag Nasty.
That's because you ain't from Saginaw. But by way of Pontiac, Michigan. So Cierra Crudup, Master Baker, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies. She is on today.
Well, shout out to my niece, because actually she is the person behind that. Actually, when a person buys a car from, or leases a car from the Queen, they get delicious sweets, cookies, Craven cookies. Yes, they do. They get a treat from the Queen. Oh, they get a treat from the Queen. Oh, and then
a sweet treat.
A sweet treat. Yeah. And then all the way out then we're gonna go all the way out to Atlanta, Georgia. Cathy Washington, our financial coach, has been with us from the beginning. Yeah. Actually, Cierra and Cathy been with us since the beginning for the last, 2 years? Isn't it our anniversary together?
Our anniversary we've had our anniversary already, but we have been 2 years rocking it out. So shout out to the Be in the Driver's Seat.
Shout out.
Yay.
We need to plan an event.
Yeah, I was thinking about, we could have the legends come back in. We should plan an event.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back with
Cierra Crudup, master baker and owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop.
Are you paying high interest rates on a car loan? Do you desire to purchase a home, but you're unable to get approved? Perhaps you're repeatedly getting denied for credit when applying for credit cards. Listen, better credit doesn't just happen. You've got to make it happen. I've helped hundreds of people better their credit and their overall financial situation by applying a simple set of instructions that anyone can follow. Call me today, 1-800-988-9184. That's Cathy Washington, your financial impact coach at 1-800-988-9184. Don't delay. Call today.
Hi, I'm Dave Wilkie, Service Manager at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. Since the 1950s, Joe Lunghamer and his family have been honored to service your vehicles. With 112 years of combined service experience, we can take care of any concern you might have, from warranty work to routine oil changes. We treat your vehicle like our own. Call now to schedule a next service appointment at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. Stop by anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your vehicle serviced right every time. Call 248-683-7100. That's 248-683-7100.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed and driving today. Simply Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
You are back to listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and we have Cierra Crudup, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies. Good morning, Cierra.
Good morning. Happy Saturday.
Good morning. Saturday. Good morning, my niece. How you doing, baby?
Happy
Good.
Saturday.
How are you?
I'm talking to you like you're sitting right next to me.
Listen, Cierra, I'm pretty sure you're covered in frosting this morning.
Getting that order ready.
Yeah, happy Saturday.
Literally.
So, Cierra, we're so excited to have you on today. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about navigating a business and personal life.
Woo! Come on, teach us today. Listen, you are newlyweds, so let's talk about how do you navigate your business and your personal life?
Well, this is a great topic, and I haven't mastered this one, so I do have some tips, though, for things that people shouldn't do based on the habits that I've created. But I will start by saying that when you own a business and you operate a business, it is very important to have balance with your personal life. And it can be easy to get consumed in your business and forget about yourself, but you will get burnt out fast.
So
put it that way.
You said burned out really quickly. So let's kind of talk about what is burned out, because you've been in business for quite some time.
But she's been a newlywed for not even a year yet.
Yeah, that's
though.
what I'm saying. You've been a newlywed not quite a year. Let's shout out your husband. Shout out to Delvon Crudup.
Crudup. Shout out to Mr. Crudup. We got to have him on. When are we having Mr. Crudup on?
I don't know, but can I get some barbecue, right?
You want barbecue this early in the morning?
Listen, if he making it, yep. So, Cierra,
the good thing about my husband and I, he owns a restaurant too, so like we get it. It's not like, it could be very difficult in a relationship with someone who doesn't own a business because they may not understand the long hours and the long days and how much you have to actually put into the business. So I know it's very rare for us to both own businesses. We're food businesses. But it works for us because we go to work at the same time and we leave at the same time. So there's nobody getting mad because somebody's at work all day. We're both at work all day.
So you guys you don't have to drive two cars. You can just drive one car, right?
Well,
Dr. T no.
Two cars. We drive two cars, but if I'm really tired, then he'll drive me home. And then he has to come back with me early in the morning.
Wow. Spoiled.
So, Cierra, let's talk about that. So we're talking about balance, but you both are working long hours, so you don't really have the traditional, dinner on the table at 6:00. So how do you even navigate the quote unquote traditional things and still keeping balance with work, life, home balance?
That is something that I am currently working on, but I will say when we get off work, we do sit down and have dinner together. We typically eat the same things. So it's Panda Express or Chipotle on the way home because we're not at home to cook. So that can be difficult. Washing clothes can be difficult. You have to get up early, put them in the washer, go to sleep, put them in the dryer.
Wow.
So you just have to figure out how to make it work.
But you know what? It's the plan, though. Because the thing when you eat some of the same things and you make it work. The bottom line, because you think about it is you said when you come home y'all eat together.
That's good.
And instead of him just saying, okay, I'm gonna get in the shower, I'm gonna do this, you take that half hour or however long it takes to eat, right, to be able to talk. But I would like to know, what are some things you guys talk about when you eat dinner because you're tired?
Well, we talk about all the things that happen in our day. We talk about customers that we've had, things that we want to do, things that we didn't do, things we need to do. We need to clean up. We need to wash clothes. We need to meal prep next week. How can we figure out how to do that? We actually enjoy sitting down talking to each other. So usually after dinner, we both take showers and then we talk until I fall asleep and then he's mad because I fell asleep.
So you going to sleep early. You going to sleep before he does.
Yeah, because I'll be tired, or I ask him to rub my feet or something like that. So,
as soon as her
really nice.
head hit the pillow,
she sleep.
Just like her daddy.
I'm asleep as soon as my head hits the pillow. But you know what? One thing I want to say to business owners, especially if you have a busy schedule, you need to take time out for yourself. And that's one thing I've implemented. It's been about a year and a half, and I go get a massage every 2 weeks. So I get 1 hour to myself with no phone, nobody, and I'm just there in the moment, probably drooling on the massage table.
Mm-hmm. So, Cierra, talk to us a little bit about, so you take this hour every 2 weeks, but how do you, what about time together? So you work very long hours. You guys don't, it's almost 5 to 7 days a week. How do you steal away time together to strengthen the marriage?
So we recently took a 2-day getaway up, maybe 2 hours away, and we had a really good time, and we didn't have to work. We just were away doing whatever we wanted to do. So we talked about us taking a trip every couple months, even if it's just to the closest city, to get away from our environment and just, bond and be with each other and not have to work.
I love that because what you find is a lot of individuals, whether they're dating or married, is that they work so much that they don't take that time to get away. And to be young, before you came on, we talked about flexibility. We talked about, being able to shift, right? And you guys are able to have the flexibility to shift to know, because we said entrepreneurs, you guys take a lot of risk. You take more risk than what we ever did. I'm your mom's age. I'm a little older than your mom, but maybe by a couple years. I am not 5 years older than you. I am, aren't I? Oh, you stink. You bad.
This is ready.
Yeah, I said she stank. Yeah, she stank.
She just jealous,
no.
y'all.
But no. So I commend you guys for actually saying that you're going to plan a getaway, because you need that time to focus on yourself, focus on your marriage, focus on loving on each other, and not letting life just run.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Cierra, how do you all turn off the work talk, though? Like, so you've worked all day, you're coming home, you're eating dinner. How do you kind of distance yourself from the actual job and just stay in a moment with each other?
Well, we try not to talk about work, and sometimes it just kind of carries over. But we're very, silly, and we joke a lot. So typically when we get home, we're, not really talking about work after we talk about what happened during the day. But he's like last night, he was catching me up on, did you hear this? Or, did you hear that? So then we're watching videos. And, the other night we laid in bed watching videos of the OJs. It was hilarious.
The OJs?
The OJs, because like you listen to their music, but have you really watched a video of the OJs? They like dressed up. They
were shimmery.
Suited and booted.
They were shimmery.
They was sharp. If I was like, man, I'd be nervous for my woman to meet the OJs. They were sharp.
Listen.
You know, so we do stuff like that. We watch old videos. We search YouTube. Last night it was we were researching this new candy bar. He was telling me about Mr. Beast and all this other stuff. So we get caught up into a lot of different things, and it's very small, but those things matter.
Cierra, you all work in the same area. So how do you, after working with, in the same area all day, how do you, navigate that? Like, because you can see Delvon several times during the day whenever you want to. So how do you stay focused and get stuff done and not want to run and tell your spouse what's going on or get your spouse to fix something?
Well, because we both have a lot to do and we both have employees that are working with us, we have to stay focused. I mean, if you running out of rib tips or you running out of,
they gotta stay sane.
You don't really have time to be going and seeing what the other one is doing or telling them what just happened. But Vaughn is very good about coming to see me often throughout the day. He likes to come and see what I'm doing or give me a kiss or say, "How you doing? How's your day?" I think he really likes working in the same building with me.
I think you like it too.
Yeah, you both like it.
So let's talk about so right now you guys are not parents. So what does that look like? Like when you're entrepreneurs and you're busy and you're building your brand, when does children come into the space?
Let me say something before she answers that, because you planted some seeds this morning.
No, I'm just asking questions.
Yeah. So you've been planting seeds about grandkids for a little while.
Cierra,
right?
Do you think that's true?
Yeah, for sure.
So let me just say this. So I saw this picture on Facebook, and I shared it. And what did I sell you, Dr. C? Look back at that text here. Let's find that text.
She was saying that it's almost time. You guys are getting ready. So my nephew, which is you and Delvon's godson, she saw a picture of you all. So let's kind of talk about that. Like, how do you?
I want to say what I said. Wait, I want to say what I said.
Regina forgot she on the radio.
I know I'm not. I know I'm on the radio. Listen. So I saw a picture. Who is this? Her god kid?
That's her god, but that's our nephew. That's my nephew.
So I saw a picture of them together. I said, "Oh snap! They may be ready soon in the near future." I mean, I got excited.
She ready to be a TT.
I'm ready. I'm ready to be a TT. No, auntie, I'm ready to be a TT.
A grand TT.
I'm ready.
A grand TT.
Oh, you're right. A grand. I don't know. Don't take the grand out of it.
Nope.
But I don't know. I'm ready. It just looks so happy. I'm like, I'm ready. I wasn't ready in the beginning like you were, but now I'm ready. When I saw him with the the baby, and he looked at like. What? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna send her the picture. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm all off focus.
So answer the questions here.
Well, I'll say, me and Vaughn, we have talked about having children. There's a few things we want to do first, but we are shifting in that direction, getting things together so that we can be prepared to have children in the near future.
So that's good.
That was a quick bump.
But that's good preparation.
That's a quick bump.
Because, also oftentimes, because you all are entrepreneurs, so people who are entrepreneurs, sometimes they have children early on, and that causes a strain, even in a relationship, and then even in the business, because you have to have people to take care of your kids, and it costs for daycare and things like that. So
that's why I got a
grandparents. That's right. You're absolutely correct. Mm-hmm. So Cierra, so if someone listening now and they want to know what, I just got married, I'm an entrepreneur. What are some tips that you can give to those that are newly married or getting ready to get married that are entrepreneurs?
Well, I would say that you have to take out time for yourself and for your marriage outside of work. And I would also say that if you are married to someone that does not own a business, I would highly suggest that you, as a person who owns a business, keeps them involved and lets them see like the day-to-day things and what you have to do so that they can be understanding to your schedule and your work hours, and maybe even try to include them in on it, because at the end of the day, you guys are one. So that would be really helpful. And I've talked to some couples and they go, man, that's really great. You both do the same thing. Me and my wife, we argue all the time because I'm never at home, or I get a big check and she thinks it all comes to the house, but I have to pay business bills. So I think it is very important that you include your spouse on the things that involve your business. And sometimes you got to shut the business off. We want to be successful. We want to work really hard, but you have to take time for yourself and your spouse and get away from the day-to-day.
Wow. So what are two things that you can share with newlyweds or young couples, two things that they should not do, two things that maybe you experience that you would say, you know what, this is a no-no. This is two things that you should not do.
I would say one thing I think that people shouldn't do is when you have an opinion on something, you shouldn't get mad that your spouse doesn't share the same opinion. One thing that me and Ron do, we both take time to think about the other person's perspective so that we can understand how they're thinking before we react. So I think that is important. Like, we're two different people. We don't think the same. So it's important that we both consider each other's thoughts and feelings. And the other one, I would say,
While you're thinking about it, let me just say this. Your mom is over here nodding her head on the first one. Like, yep. What's your thoughts, Dr. T?
Well, we always think that everyone thinks like us. And so the reality is they don't. Like, just because I think a certain way, that doesn't mean you're going to think that way. So being considerate.
Doesn't mean your spouse going to think that way.
Or anyone, really.
Well, we're talking about, I said couples,
spouse,
people.
But
married.
even business partners, people, period. Whatever relationships are, people do not always think the same. And we come from different environments. We come from different households. And so we have to give space to each other to allow them to grow and to say where they at.
She put that word in there, y'all. That she said, when I said spouses, she said business partners, right?
Absolutely.
So we're business partners.
Absolutely. So I love the fact that you brought that out, Cierra, because sometimes we think that people automatically is going to agree with us and think like we do, and they don't. And you don't, because we go back and forth all the time on disagree on stuff. But why do you deal with that? You got to accept that person has a difference of opinion. Right? Yeah, absolutely. So I like that. And Cierra, another thing, just as a seasoned person, I would say this is communicate. Don't go to bed angry. Like, if I could tell anyone who's listening right now, is not only do you consider your spouse, but don't go to bed mad. You can always work it out. You can always work it out if you are flexible, if you have a willingness to do so.
Yep, that's a good one. Yeah. I would have to agree with that. And I also would say, if you do things, you both are going to do things differently. So if that person or your spouse does something different than the way you would do it, give them the space to be who they are. Yeah. Sometimes Vaughn forgets a lot of stuff. And I was going to tell him, like, you're always forgetting this. You're always forgetting that. And I had to stop myself because he could have 1,000 things on his mind that I don't even know about. And maybe that's why he's forgetting. But he's different, and so am I, and that's why we are both two different people.
Yeah, that's good. So, Cierra, tell the listeners, how can they get in touch with you if they want some Craven cookies or if they want some Delicious Sweets Bake Shop?
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Delicious Sweets Bake Shop. Our website is www.dsibakeshop.com and cravencookies.com.
Yeah, so Craven Cookies is spelled with a K. Thank you so much, Cierra. We enjoy when you come on the segment. Thank you for sharing with us how to navigate business and your own personal life. And
thank you for having me.
We're looking forward to you on next month, and we'll be right back after we take this break.
Are you paying high interest rates on a car loan? Do you desire to purchase a home, but you're unable to get approved? Perhaps you're repeatedly getting denied for credit when applying for credit cards. Listen, better credit doesn't just happen. You've got to make it happen. I've helped hundreds of people better their credit and their overall financial situation by applying a simple set of instructions that anyone can follow. Call me today, 1-800-988-9184. That's Cathy Washington, your financial impact coach at 1-800-988-9184. Don't delay. Call today.
Hi, I'm Dave Wilkie, Service Manager at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. Since the 1950s, Joe Lunghamer and his family have been honored to service your vehicles. With 112 years of combined service experience, we can take care of any concern you might have. From warranty work to routine oil changes, we treat your vehicle like our own. Call now to schedule the next service appointment at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. Stop by anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your vehicle serviced right every time. Call 248-683-7100. That's 248-683-7100.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Regina, the Queen of Carlones here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed and driving today. Simply Google Regina, the Queen of Carlones. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Carlones at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
At home or on the go, stream at faithtalkdetroit.com or download our app.
Are you paying high interest rates on a car loan? Do you desire to purchase a home, but you're unable to get approved? Perhaps you're repeatedly getting denied for credit when applying for credit cards. Listen, better credit doesn't just happen. You've got to make it happen. I've helped hundreds of people better their credit and their overall financial situation by applying a simple set of instructions that anyone can follow. Call me today, 1-800-988-9184. That's Cathy Washington, your financial impact coach at 1-800-988-9184. Don't delay. Call today.
Regina, the Queen of Carlones here with Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed and driving today. Simply Google Regina, the Queen of Carlones. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Carlones at Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Washington, all the way out of Atlanta, Georgia. Do you like how I sing now, or would you prefer me to talk?
Kathy, please help me.
Kathy, can I talk? Would you want me to talk or sing? I can sing you in once a month. Kathy.
Kathy. You're supposed to have my back on this, Kathy.
All the way out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Kathy.
Listen.
Good morning.
I'm telling you, I feel like we just on show this morning. She's singing. So, Kathy, I'm so excited. You're in the studio. Well, you're on the line with us this morning. I can't wait till you get in the studio so I can be looking at you.
We're still waiting for that.
Wait. We have got to get that scheduled. We got to make that happen. Yeah.
So
I gotta coach.
I'm excited. What are we talking about today, Kathy?
You know what? We're going to talk about some credit tips, right? Because we're always talking about being your own personal advocate of your credit space, your financials. And so we're going to talk about some credit tips today. And I know some of these might be things that people have heard before, but I just want to reiterate some things because I feel like, folks might hear it, but don't always respond. So we want to go ahead and just put it back out there. Yeah, absolutely. So I could just dive on in if you guys want me to.
Yeah, let's go.
Dive on in.
I got my pen and my paper ready.
Me too. We hope our listeners have their pen and paper ready.
I got your pen and paper ready. Let's go.
Let's go.
I would say the first thing, one thing that you really want to do to really, just from a credit perspective, making sure that you're understanding it, is that you want to pay your bills on time, right? Mm-hmm. We've talked about this in the past, and people say, well, it's only $50. I'll wait and pay it next month. But waiting and paying it next month has a significant impact because paying your bills on time is 35% of that credit score calculation. So 35% is a huge piece of that pie. You don't want to take that risk. So I want to encourage you to pay your bills on time. Consistently paying bills on by their due date or before helps you build that positive credit history or helps you maintain, your credit history where you are today. So paying bills on time is extremely important. I want our listeners to know that.
But Kathy, let me say
paying
this.
The minimum.
I love the fact that you said paying your bills on time because what I've learned is if you pay your bills on time, you give your that credit worthiness. Like you're showing that you are worthy to have this card. You know what I mean? And that's so right. Not only that, longevity. So I like the fact that you brought out pay your bills on time. Man. Okay. So that's tip one. I got it.
Because, yeah, absolutely. Because the truth is
that credit is truly the ability for a consumer to just acquire the goods and services that they want now with the promise that they're going to pay it back in the future. So that's why paying your bills is the largest piece of the pie. You promised that you were going to pay it. So we want to make sure that you do it. And even if you just paid the minimum, make sure you do that. All right, diving into this.
Well, you know what, let me say this. So I think that some people, customers, car customers, or just people in general, they think that they can pay when they want to.
Well, Cierra said, Cathy, when I talked to her the other day, she said that she said one of the things that she wished I would have taught her more about was credit, because we didn't talk about it a lot in our house because I didn't use credit cards. But she thought that when you had a $500 credit, allotment, that you could spend the $500 this month and they would reload $500 again next month. She didn't understand. So I'm thankful that you're saying that, because now these are conversations that parents can have with their children right now. Because I didn't have that conversation with her, and that was 32 years. You know, she's 32, and so I didn't share that with her because I wasn't a credit card user, so it wasn't happening in my house. So I'm thankful that you're sharing these things, because this is, most people in the world now have a credit card.
Well, you know, I think what it is. I think what it is when it comes to buying cars is that a lot of people don't think to share that, you know, you need to get this credit card. You need to get this credit to be able to eventually get a car, and they don't share. And I find that when I first got into business in 1998, selling cars, where I was selling the grandmothers, right? Now, and then I'm selling the kids now. And then I'm selling the grandkids, right? But they didn't talk about credit. They didn't talk about, you need to be able to pay your bills on time to be able to get a car. Or you need to pay your bills on time to use your credit. Maybe you need to go buy a gift, or everybody was into paying cash. So my point in saying this is that it's never too late to have the conversation.
Yeah, that's good.
That's so good.
If your mama skipped you over, if your mama, daddy skipped you over, your aunt and uncle, don't be mad. Get it now, because it's never too late.
That's good.
And further, you get to pass it on, right? Because now you got the knowledge. You get to pass it on to your children, and they can pass it on to their children. Now you're throwing a lifeline to the next generation, and we want to make sure our kids know better, right?
Yeah. A hook, throwing a hook.
Right.
Yeah, so they can do better. That's right.
They can do better. They can do better. But I love what you said, Dr. T, because the reality is they're not, while you all didn't talk about it in your household, it probably wasn't discussed in your, as you were growing up. So you taught Cierra what you knew. And so grace to all the parents out there. You taught what you knew, but now when you know better,
you do better.
We do better.
That'll preach, Cathy. That's good. That's good.
Go ahead. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and dive into the next one. Keeping your credit card balances low. This is really a big deal, too, because this is about that utilization. We got too many people who feel like, I got $1,000. It's free money. I can just go ahead and spend this card up to $1,000 and I'm good. I'll pay a little bit along as I go. But guess what? Now you're getting into 30% of that credit score calculation. That is now the second largest piece of the pie. That's why I put these two first, because I think if you get these two, now you've gotten at least 65% of that credit score calculation. You're managing it, right? Because now you're dealing with at least the largest two buckets. But that credit card utilization, let's break it down a little bit more. Let's say I've got $1,000 credit limit on my credit card. And the company has given you that limit, and we know 30%. You want to not spend over 30% each month. So 30% of $1,000 would be $300.
Right.
So if I go over $300, now I've gone over my utilization for that credit card, and so I want to make sure that I keep it under 30%. If I want to maintain my credit, my existing credit score, just maintaining it, 30% is a good rule of thumb. But if you're trying to build and you're really trying to, build that score up, you want to somewhere between 8 and 10%. You want to stay under that. So that really shows your credit worthiness, your discipline to use the card and not overuse it or use it, beyond the 30% utilization that's out there.
So some people don't realize, though, that, I hope people got their pen and paper and they're really listening to this segment, because they don't realize if you're going to look for a car, that you need to keep your credit utilization low.
Yeah.
You don't want to be maxed out on your credit card.
Yeah, that's good.
Because that means lower your score.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean your payments maybe is going to be higher. Your interest rate may be higher.
And I want to give a shout out to both you and Cathy, because since I've been on the show with you all have showed me how to keep my credit in order and how to pay my bills on time. So when I
you already knew how to pay your bills on time.
I knew how to do that, but see, iron sharpens iron. And so, Cathy, I can tell you this: when you told me to stay at 30%, I take these tools and I use them, because when it was time for me to go get a vehicle, I was able to walk in and say what I wanted, how I wanted it, and it was going to be the car note that I said it was going to be. So I appreciate that. And so these tips do help.
Everybody can't do that.
Everybody can't do it, but if they listen to our financial coach, they
will be able to do that.
So if those of you all who are listening, listen, these tips that Cathy Washington gives, this helps you in a long run, and it also helps you to get the things that you need to get. So Cathy, I heard 1 and 2. I got my pen. I need to hear the rest of them. What's number 3?
Number 3 is you want to monitor that credit report, right? A lot of times we don't take a look at the credit until it's time to go do something, buy a car, get in a house, whatever. Then we let me see what my credit looks like. You want to periodically go ahead and make sure you're monitoring that credit report. You know, we've got lots of tools out there where you can do that. You want to regularly check and make sure that there are no errors, there are no discrepancies. And if you do have those, I want you to give me a call, because we can help you get rid of those. You know, by going through the dispute process, we can help you get rid of those inaccuracies that you might find on your credit report.
That's good.
So that's definitely one you want to make sure that you do.
That's good.
Don't wait until it's time to buy, because I know many times, Regina, you probably can tell the story of how they come in to see you and they don't even know what the score is.
Or they don't know what their score is, but they haven't taken a look at the credit report.
That's good.
And they don't think about it until something happens, and that's the problem. You have to be ready no matter what. You got to stay ready.
That's good.
That's right. That's right.
What's number 4?
Number 4.
I'm getting these, y'all.
I hope you are.
I'm getting them.
I hope people are getting these. These are some great tips that you can apply to your finances. Listen, avoid opening too many accounts.
But why? But why though? Because people. Go ahead, because I was going to make a comment about something, but I'm not even going to share that right now.
Okay, but opening too many credit card accounts in a short period of time can negatively impact your credit score. Largely because, if you are, number one, you've got the increase to consider, right? Because every time you actually open an account, you're getting a hard increase on your credit profile. When you are filling out application, tell people all the time, be careful. Don't get caught up in the loop, especially if you shopping and somebody's trying to get you to do a department store credit card. Be careful with those opening too many of those accounts at one time, because each time you apply, you're going to get hit with, that hard increase. So you want to make sure that you're not opening too many of those accounts at one time. You want to give yourself time. It's about what Dr. T said earlier. You want to make sure that you are proving that you are credit worthy, right? Yeah. You're credit worthy.
That's good. That's good. That's good, Cathy.
So, it takes me back to this fact when I tell my customers all the time, it's like, get with that particular person and make that decision about what you want to do. It's just got to win your credit. You talk about keeping your credit intact in order to get ready for your next level. Stand in your lane, right? Because if you don't stay in your lane with your credit, you're not going to stay ready to be able to buy that car, buy that house. And that's important. And that's why we talk about this once a month, because it's repetitious. We want to say the same thing. And people say to me when I do my videos, I give you nuggets, right? Because I want you to be able to share those nuggets, think about those nuggets, but you never know when you're going to need those nuggets. And the reason we share the things that we talk about is because we want you to be able to have those nuggets when you need them, right?
That's right. That's right. Good.
But go ahead with number 5, because I keep running my mouth, and I know we've run out of time here.
Okay. All right. So I would just say, as we wrap up, another thing that you talk about paying your bills on time, to help people make sure that they do that, you can set up payment reminders. I do it on my phone all the time. I want to be reminded of something. My phone can help me. It's a tool, right? I can literally say, tell Siri, set a reminder to do X, Y, Z. Well, you can literally set reminders in your payment reminders in your phone, on your calendar. You can even set up, automatic payment. They've got so many different ways that you can do that with your bank. You can do electronic payments, set all your bills up so that each, whenever the bills are due, you can arrange them so that the bills get paid in alignment with your payroll. There's so many different strategies that you can use. The important thing is knowing that missing payments can really cause you to have some impact to your score. So you want to make sure you consider using some sort of automatic payment system to make sure you're set up for success.
This is so good. So, Cathy, tell the listeners how they can get in contact with you.
Absolutely. You can certainly not. And I really want to encourage people because I think sometimes we hear this information, but we don't do anything about it. So I want to encourage people that if you just want to have a consultation and understand, maybe talk about your personal situation and what can happen for you, you can call me at 1-800-988-9184. The number again is 1-800-988-9184. You can go to my website, CathyWashington.com. You can actually connect with me there, and we'll make sure that we get you scheduled for a consultation. And, of course, my social media sites are Impact Life Now. So we're impacting lives every single day because we want to see people better, getting their financial house in order. That's what we want.
This is so good. I mean, you gave 5 wonderful tips. You said to pay your bills on time, to keep your credit balances down, monitor your credit report, avoid opening too many accounts, and set up payment reminders. These are great tips to help us stay in alignment with our credit. So, Cathy, thank you so much for sharing those tips with us today. And I'm telling you, I wrote them down and I listen every month to the tips that you give us, and it has improved my credit score, and it has allowed me to be able to purchase the things that I desire and not necessarily need.
Well, amen. Amen. Hallelujah.
I'm so excited. So excited to hear that, Dr. C. That encourages me because, at the end of the day, I know, sometimes it could be dry and it could be, people can just feel like, oh, my goodness, do I really have to focus on that? Yes, you really do. You want to be positioned to do what you want to do when you want to do it.
That's
all right,
good.
I'm signing off.
Yeah, that's good. But I just wanted to share this with you. Thank you, because I didn't know about credit. I didn't. And it's people that you, our financial coach, you are helping us. So for those that are listening, awesome. You take these nuggets and you call Cathy Washington, our financial coach, and she can help you no matter where you are in the world.
And what's that number again?
That's right. The number is 1-800-988-9184. 1-800-988-9184.
Thank you so much, Cathy, and happy Saturday.
And have a good week.
Thank you. Happy Saturday, you guys. Take care.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Man, that was a good show, Regina.
It was a good show.
Yeah. Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope you enjoy your day.
You've been listening to Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Brought to you by Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Be in the Driver's Seat, a Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. From Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore, thank you for listening.